commission, so I guess you don't need an extra. And you've got yours for plan commission, so I guess you don't need an extra. Susan, do you want a copy of the binder for commissioners meeting on the 30th? Now? Okay. Todd, do you want me to drop off a copy to your house?
Yeah, I'll just stop by your office and grab it. That's okay.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll be there, I don't know when you get back, but yeah, stop on by and I'll have it there for you.
Yeah, I'll stop by. Thank you.
Okay. But that is going to Plan Commission on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Y'all commissioners are invited to attend if you want. Mike obviously will be there as a Plan Commission representative, so just wanted to get these to you before that meeting. So, yeah. That's all I have.
Is that it?
That's
okay.
it.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
You bet.
I'll give you that back. You can recycle the paper clip.
Thanks, Todd. See you guys.
See you, Chris.
Has Andrew seen that?
No.
Ah.
And you'll just email me, right? Or bring it back or something?
Okay, we have some time to burn. So are there any comments from the public? Anybody like to make any comments? Questions?
There we go. I'm taking Andrew's place today. So I'm on fall break and he's over taking tools to the South Side Park, helping them out over there. So just a question, and I'm glad Chris is in here. On Wednesday, we're anticipating a pretty large crowd. We have a good amount of seniors that are probably going to be coming. I know we have someone in a motorized chair that's going to be coming. We've been going door to door. Can we there's several people who are going to struggle with hearing what's going on if they're out there. Can we do anything to accommodate, like with seating, audio, visual, that's going to allow everyone that's coming to kind of hear and see what's going on? Thank you. I was hoping you could.
We are, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no.
We are planning to stream the Plan Commission meeting.
Okay.
Hopefully, Jack is planning to be here, so if we have issues, things will come up. We're grabbing the other monitor from the white room in the basement of the annex building. We're going to put it outside there like they did for the other solar night meeting you guys had.
Okay.
So those will all be out there.
Okay.
As far as extra chairs, I know we have these. I'm not sure if there are extra seats.
We'd have to talk to Larry.
Okay.
I mean, if we work it out with Larry, I'm sure that him and
Right.
Evan can
And grab some chairs
help
for
us
up here.
get some.
Okay.
I'm sure people will be courteous and allow seniors that are to sit. I hope that would be the priority. I worry about with the group we have come in and going door to door and see, and it's their concern too. I just want to make sure we're as accommodating as possible.
Yep. We're planning on
So we'll let you tell the people that they have to get up if somebody else needs to sit down.
Absolutely. Yes, not a problem. I have chairs too if you need more. Like if you need me to bring a truckload of chairs and set up shop, I got you.
We just need to talk to Larry.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do.
Okay.
We got chairs. We'll dig something up somewhere.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. Anyone else have any comments?
Come on up to the microphone.
Yeah.
Just state your name and address and what.
My name's Stan Stallcup, and this is my wife Sharon. We live in St. Joe, Indiana, and we were trying to get possession of an alley easement that's connected to our property or adjacent to it. I think Ms. Sleeper has talked to Randy Drake about this
Yep.
quite a bit. And when I spoke to him just a few days ago, he said to be here at this meeting. And no?
I did not tell him to come to any meeting. I had explained to him that the property just now is eligible to certify for a tax sale. That was my error in the spring. I had looked at it thinking it was going to go, but there has to be tax sale tax over $25 before it can be certified for a sale. So it will be certified for the 2024 tax sale, but there's nothing that the county can do prior to that because it's never been to a tax sale, so the commissioners don't have any control over it. And I had explained that to him in an email.
Okay, well,
Yeah, it was never scheduled for the agenda, and I had never told anybody that it would be on the agenda. Somebody did call and ask in my office, and we told them no.
okay, I was misinformed then, I guess.
Sorry.
So when would that be at the earliest?
So the earliest, and this is if nobody pays on it, if nobody pays to get it off the tax sale, then it would certify in around June of '24. And then it would go in that October tax sale. The only thing to do prior to that would be, this is the unknown one though, right? So we don't know the owners. Yeah, so there's nothing, it's kind of a waiting game at this point. Because I believe that the city attorney had said that you couldn't quiet title it because there wasn't, like, you couldn't show that you had paid taxes and taken care of it for over 10 years. And so that was why he couldn't do a quiet title. You
Because we
agree?
have taken care of the property since 1979.
Right, but I believe the city attorney there had told Randy Drake that there wasn't enough qualifying information to be able to do a quiet title on it to get it into your name.
Typically, like for an adverse possession type situation, you have to prove long-term usage of it to some extent, and then also that you've paid the taxes. It's a difficult standard to meet. I don't know, who's the city attorney over there now? Put you on the spot.
I
Susan.
can't,
Cedric,
Cedric,
I think
yeah.
it is Cedric,
Cedric,
yeah.
okay.
I didn't want to say his name if I couldn't remember.
All right. I've looked into it for people before, and it's a challenging standard to meet, even if you think quite a few things are correct. The tax issue is a part of that. You could, do you know if anyone's done a title search on it? Like had like an Auburn Abstract company do a title search?
Not that I know of.
Okay. There's different abstract companies around. I just mentioned Auburn Abstract, but that's a potential thing you could could think about doing, is see if they could identify the owner. But of course, I mean, they could at least go back and see who last owned it or when it was last transferred. I don't know.
My office has done our work on it
Okay.
multiple times,
And just
and
kind of got nobody
and so we had,
transferred it on.
right, we had instructed that they would either need to get an attorney to see what they can do. You had given me multiple options, and Cedric had agreed that the tax sale part would be the best option to go with because of the logistics of the property. I have been working since 2022 on this.
At least, seems like longer, yeah.
Yeah.
These things take a long time because, the law is pretty particular about what you have to do for real estate. I sympathize with you for having to wait this long, but it sounds like the tax sale is going to happen next year, and
the least complicated approach.
And probably the least expensive.
Oh, by far.
Yeah.
you could get an attorney to advise you on whether or not it would make sense to buy it at tax sale. Is that what you're talking about? Him buying it, or him just, or it going to commissioners after?
No, like if he buys it at tax sale, waiting and buying at tax sale is going to be
The best way to handle that. is what you're talking
and
about. Okay.
the least expensive way. Because
Yeah.
if he goes the other route, there's going to be all kinds of charges.
Well, and I think for buying it at tax sale, I would advise anybody to have a lawyer help them through that process because.
And that's
I
what
don't
we
know if
do.
you have a lawyer that can help you through that, but
Not at this time, no, I don't.
it's a very detailed process. I've gone through it before and I wouldn't want to do it unless unless I'm an attorney or I had had an attorney representing me on it because there's just a lot of deadlines and documents that have to be prepared and filed with the court at just the right time. And if you miss some of those deadlines, you can blow the process. So I would definitely advise you to get an attorney.
And that's what I told Randy.
Okay. Wish we could help you out sooner, but
Yeah, me too, but
it's, I assume it's in grass, this easement?
yes.
Yeah. Mowed and taken care of, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's actually a T-shaped piece of property. One goes between me and my neighbor Joe. And the other one goes between Joe and the next adjacent neighbor. Do you know offhand if you did purchase this at tax sale, can you divide the property or would you have to purchase it and then divide it? Like if I bought it, would I have to sell it to him? The other section?
I believe, yeah,
Yeah, I
because
think-
you
yeah.
would buy a lien, a certificate to that exact piece, and
Yeah.
then you can't do anything with it until you get it into your name.
Yeah, then you could split it, sell part of it to him,
So it would have to be a two-step process.
yeah.
Is that a pretty complicated issue also, or, you know?
You might have to get a survey to determine where the line is, or at least talk to a surveyor about doing that. That would be probably the only complication, because then it would have to go through the auditor's office to separate it out into two taxable units there instead of one taxable unit. So it's very doable, but depending on the cost of a survey process, I mean, it could be that process. But it's definitely very doable. Once you get the go through the tax sale certificate process and purchase it, to split it is definitely very doable.
Okay.
Would that,
And also very advisable to have an attorney do that.
To help with that, sure, and advise you on that.
So,
Yeah.
because if you don't get something right on the deeds, then we're gonna reject it and you're gonna, it'll end up being a
Start all over
nightmare.
again.
Yeah.
yeah. That wouldn't have to go through plan commission, would it?
No,
A split, I don't think so, because
No.
they're not building on it. Is that the thing?
It
Since
doesn't.
It's not a buildable.
no, that wouldn't even go through plat committee, that would be just be an administrative.
Yeah, it just comes through my office.
So it would just need to be a dividing line made that would be acceptable to the auditor's office, which frequently is through a surveyor doing it. And then a lawyer helping to do a deed, or two deeds, really, a deed to the remaining part to you, or one deed of just a portion of it to the neighbor. So maybe one deed plus a survey.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, well, thanks for the information.
Okay. Anyone else? Any comments? Yes, sir. State your name and address, please.
My name's Larry Bush, and I live at 301 South School Street, St. Joe, Indiana, next to Stan. I guess my question is, well, first of all, comment, like Stan says, he's been taking care of the property that he's after since 1979. And I've been mowing the right-of-way between my property and the property south of me since 1975. So, it just seems to me like a lot of red tape to attain this property for both of us that he wants for the right-of-way to drive to the back of his garage on. I mean, we get along famously, the neighbor next to me, we get along the same way. So, I guess I'm not clear on the understanding. You say there's going to be a tax sale,
Because nobody's paying the taxes on it.
so that's going to be Like we just buy that for the amount that that property is worth for taxes? Is that what that means?
Correct.
And do you know what that is already?
Not off the top of my head. However, it can't certify for tax sale until the taxes are a minimum of $25. So once it hits $25, then there'll be like the late fees on it, and then there will be a tax sale fee on it. And that would be the amount that it would certify for.
So does that tax sale go publicly? Can somebody else
Every
come in and buy
year.
that?
We have one every year, and we just had one on the 11th on an online auction. It's advertised in the newspaper and on the website, and it's public.
So we're not going to have first choice? Someone else could come in and actually buy those right-of-ways?
If they, yeah.
Yes.
How are we going to be notified
It's
when
a
this
bid
is ready?
process.
When this
How-
tax sale's ready? I just got those concerns, that's all.
Okay, well, since it's on your radar, you will probably want to keep following up on it, but there won't be anything to do until, June, the end of June, beginning of July, you can verify if it for sure certified for tax sale. If anybody pays anything on it, then it's not going to certify because it's going to take that delinquent tax under the $25 minimum threshold. So at beginning of July, you could check with us to see, or the treasurer's office, check with us to see if it's for sure certified. Then there's a few months process with noticing that SRI, the company that does them, sends out to the land. It's a complicated process. Then when we set our October date, it will be advertised in July or August.
So we're
I will
talking
know
next,
the date.
we're talking next year, almost this time.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Tax sale happens once a year.
Wow.
When he comes in to check on that, you say July, to see if it's certified, will you have that October date set then?
I'll probably know the October date in March. We
In
generally
March.
set it sooner. But all of that can be found out at that same time.
So again, how do we stay up on this to make sure we know when it comes up for sale?
Contact either the treasurer's office or the auditor's office and inquire and ask, or watch the newspaper for the tax sale ad, or check SRI's website. They list every parcel that's going for sale. The county website. There's multiple different places that the information is out there.
Yeah,
It'll be
and, it's
July.
it's nothing against any of you, it just seems, I don't know. It
we
just
don't-
seems like a lot of red tape to have to go to. We already taken care of the land for whoever owns it now.
I
you know?
understand, but the attorney, I have two attorneys, and the attorney that Randy Drake spoke with, he also stated that there is not enough evidence or proof of caring for it for more than 10 years because the taxes remain unpaid. It's a
There's not
huge,
any evidence?
well, if you want to get an attorney and talk to him and find out what you need to have to be able to prove to quiet
Don't get me
title it
wrong,
to
I'm
you,
not
you
trying to get
can.
nasty about it, I'm just having
I
a
know,
hard time
but that's the only
understanding.
way that you're gonna be able to find out like something immediately, is if you contact an attorney, find out what requirements you need to show that you have taken care of, and I'm not an attorney, so I don't know what all, but I know it's a complicated process.
I just feel bad for him because he's the one that's really wanting that right away that, connects
I
to my property.
understand, I understand.
To me,
but
I don't care, it's,
I have
if
processes that I have to
somebody else
follow.
was to buy that 10-foot easement, why, I'd just throw a fence up and it'd quit getting mowed, that's the problem, but,
I
The
understand.
okay,
county doesn't own the property, so we can't give you something we don't own.
okay. I guess I'm done. I didn't want
I-
to cause any trouble. I was just trying to get clear on this.
I did have a question for Andrew. If he could provide testimony of neighbors that would state and testify to the fact that they've taken care of this property for multiple years. Is that anything that would sway
Well, yeah, so testimony of long-term maintenance, like by mowing and so forth, can be helpful, but I believe that the underlying issue that Cedric saw that I would think is an issue is the payment of the taxes. You have to prove that you paid the taxes, and there's cases where people think they're paying the taxes, but they're not, and then there's other cases, maybe like this one, where the taxes just aren't being paid. I've researched this out before. I mean, I can't necessarily give you legal advice, but I can tell you, Bill, you know, and you're obviously hearing it. I think it's the payment of the taxes that's an issue. Just the reason that the law is set up this way is so that, for example, one neighbor can't start mowing a half acre of the other neighbor's land and after 10 years say it's mine. You know, and you know there'd be some nasty people that would do that.
Yeah, I understand.
And so they have legal processes in place to kind of prevent that.
Sure.
And so it also jams you up and makes you go through more hoops for this land. You
Yeah,
know,
if
even
this
though
was
you guys
some-
are in good faith,
Yeah, if
they
this
have
was somebody
protections
else's-
in place to stop the bad faith people from.
Yeah, if
doing
this was
stuff.
somebody else's yard, I can understand that. So
Same law applies for
I
alleys
guess
and yards.
what
and
you
stuff
said,
like that.
sir, were you suggesting that we possibly get neighbors to sign that?
You have to get your own attorney and work with your own attorney
Gotcha.
on what they suggest you to do.
And it may or may not work out
All
for
right.
it because of the taxes that
All right.
weren't paid.
I'll be quiet.
I would say come in sometime next summer and
Okay.
see Susan and find out when that tax sale is going to be and put that on your calendar and make sure you don't miss it.
All right, thank you.
That would be the best we can do. Sorry. Okay. We still got time.
Thank you.
Yes.
Larry, I contacted Larry. He is meeting with he's meeting out at Community Corrections with the generated people, like right now. And
Yeah.
then he's going to try and do that and then get them back here to talk to you before break.
Oh, okay, okay. In the meantime, anything else on anybody else's list, by the way? Before I go? Okay. What I've got on my list here is, I've been thinking about this due to circumstances as we see. And talked to Sheriff a little bit, and that is to do something, somehow to build a handgun, indoor gun range and do gun safety and gun shooting classes. I don't know what that looks like exactly, whether we find a facility to use or whether we build something out on the county farm. My thoughts have been to use ARPA money to extend the utilities on the county farm and then go for donations to build the facility itself. I think there'd be a lot of gun owners, gun enthusiasts, people that would be willing to donate to build such a facility. I have no idea what that would cost, but I think we need, not only for gun safety, but for self-defense reasons in today's day and age, that we need to do something. So I'm just opening up for comments now, just some discussion preliminarily, and what's your thoughts?
You never get too much information. I'm always up for having the discussion, getting some more information on it. I believe that the city of Auburn does gun safety classes and so forth at their range out off of South Grandstaff, but
Yeah, I don't know what that involves or what that looks like. I know the previous sheriff, he went to gun range really bad because they had to pay Auburn to use theirs.
yeah, the officers have
Yeah, had to
to
pay.
pay to, yeah.
My thinking on this, and there again, I'm just rattling the brain around, is to have an instructor, and we could maybe get somebody in the sheriff's department to
We've got
become
several-
certified or.
Several certified instructors.
Yeah. And then somebody come in, they want to go through the training, they would pay to go through the training. But after that, they would have use of that gun range on certain days for free. In other words, they could go Monday and Thursday and Friday or whatever weekends. They would have to be reserved, obviously, certain days for the sheriff department to use. And I don't know about the other departments in the county, but possibility. But that's kind of what I'm just thinking about. And I don't know.
It's a worthwhile discussion. I think we need to maybe cover all the aspects of that. I mean, it might be less expensive to talk to Corey Heffelfinger and see if we can work out something with them that the previous sheriff wasn't able to,
But yeah,
or something like that. I think there's a lot of possibilities, but I think the concept is really a good idea.
good idea. Todd, comments?
I talked to Officer Miller about a month ago about using the range personally, paying one of their instructors to give me some two-gun training or people that want some safety. And he said, nah, said we just don't have the capability or the room or the time. Supposedly they use that facility so much that is one of the reasons. Now this is directly from him, but I think that's one of the reasons we already don't have corroboration between the county and the city, is they use that extensively. And they did have an incident where they were training someone, and one guy did shoot himself in the leg while he was being trained. And I think it was the community corrections officer, actually. And so they're very hesitant to have outside people there for liability reasons. Now, we talked about building a new range out there anyway. If we could get some donations to come in and, like Bill said, maybe set a day aside, one day, or two or something, or evenings, and make instructors available. Maybe they have to pay for instruction. I don't know, but I think it's a good idea. I'm telling you what, guys, it is going to be up to counties and cities to protect our citizens individually, because there is not enough law enforcement out there to protect us. There's basically, in most cities, there's about one cop for 1,000 people actively on the road anyway at the time. If something major happens, you're going to need to protect yourself. And I've seen too many people buy a firearm that have no clue how to use it. They might know how to load it, but they don't know how to properly aim. They don't understand proper safety. They don't understand cross draw. And that's the thing. People need to understand true gun safety. And true gun safety is hitting your target, not hitting what you don't want to hit. And I think it's a great idea. How it would work, I'm not sure. I just don't know that the city's going to be part of it unless, Mike said, unless we can work together with the new sheriff. Maybe that's a possibility, but from what I understand, they really don't want any part of that. And maybe they'd like to come in and comment, someone from the city. But I think it's a great idea. How we make it work, I don't know. But I love the idea of donations and ARPA money to build it, because we were going to build a gun range anyway, and extending those utilities we need to do anyway for the new jail. So it might be a good time to kickstart this and get moving.
Yeah. A lot of possibilities, I think.
Sorry, Jessica.
What was that? I missed that.
Well, I wasn't following directions. My fault. Have you guys reached out to the private sector at all for that? Like Shaw Firearms? I mean, if you go up to Angola, Thunder Lakes has a really nice indoor shooting range. They do a fantastic job. I've taken my kids up there. But we have quite a few gun companies, people who already deal in firearms, that would be a natural good fit. I don't know how you entice them, preferably not through tax abatements, but if you can put a plan together and reach out, to these different organizations that are already here and kind of push training and help facilitate training, remove the government out of it and let the private sector handle it, I feel like it'd be a really good opportunity for a local business in the community. Just a thought.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. We're after thoughts. Anything else? Liability-wise, if we had a range,
We would need to talk to Kyle Pearson and the liability insurance company and see, building can be donated, but there would, I would think, be an increase in insurance premium to handle an increased liability of running your own gun range. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that might have to be included in the fee for training or something like that.
You can write up waivers, but it's my opinion from what I've seen that waivers of liability are not 100% airtight. They can be helpful, but
That's a good point. Andrew, that's a great point. You can sign a waiver, but when you get shot, your wife ends up suing the county because she didn't sign the waiver. You know what I'm saying? She could prove that her loss of income of her husband because the county was negligent. I've seen that happen before with airplanes. I have someone sign a waiver when they ride with me. Well, their wife didn't sign the waiver, and if I end up killing her husband, I'm liable for her loss of income at that point. So,
well, I've always, that's an interesting point. I've never actually seen that in anything. I've always believed that the wife's rights to sue are connected to the husband's rights to sue. So, but I understand your point, and maybe you've seen that, and it's possible that the aircraft and the FAA, there are different federal laws on suing and how you sue and so forth that I think are different than state liability laws. I could be wrong on that.
Okay.
I've never researched that out, but it's possible.
You're the attorney, and I'm a car dealer.
Yeah, no, yeah. But I mean, it's a good point to be thoughtful of. But I've always thought like if somebody's injured, there is a spousal right to sue, but it's usually connected to there's still got to be that the right of the original spouse to sue. And if he's signed away his rights or she's signed away their rights due to a waiver. And if that waiver holds up in court, I think the spouse is out of luck. But
Okay,
Yeah.
Larry, I mentioned that one of the companies I flew for had a $200 million liability policy on their aircraft because they were advised, they're carrying around people to make $1 million a year.
yes,
And they have 25 years of usable income, and they were afraid that their spouse would
Sure.
say you were negligent. Killed my husband, I relied on this income, and now I
Yeah.
have nothing, I'm in poverty because of you, and there have
Yeah.
been successful cases sued that way.
yep. Oh yeah, if the spouse
They sue
dies,
everyone.
yep, yep. If a spouse
They
dies,
sue everyone, they sue the aircraft manufacturer, they sue the pilot, they sue the company.
Yes.
They sue the person that put the fuel in the airplane, it's amazing. So,
Yep.
you know,
yep, for sure. So definitely, you would check with the liability insurance.
I'm pretty certain that the underwriters will see a substantial difference between a range that's used just by professional law enforcement and a range that is used by the public, too.
Yep.
Yeah,
right,
Yep.
no doubt, no doubt.
right.
Right.
So maybe it would be more of a private enterprise, possibly, and they would charge, but we just keep digging
Until you
at it.
dive in and start checking things out, you don't know.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you won't know till we,
I'm okay with that.
okay.
Great.
Anything else at the moment? Todd? You got to fill the gap. We got 20 minutes.
Okay, well, let's take an early break and let's start up when Larry comes back or something, I don't know.
All right. Covered the garage.
Larry said they're heading back now.
Heading back.
Have you guys given any more thought to or wait, maybe Todd, never mind. I think you were gonna talk to Jack about the cameras. You haven't been back
Yeah,
yet.
I
Never
hope to
mind.
do that Wednesday. If he's got time, I hope to do that Wednesday.
Okay,
Oh, okay. In the annex.
yeah,
Yeah.
those yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, annex, yeah, the keypads and the cameras. right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you want to take a break?
Kim?
It's golf clock, take a break.
Watch for Larry to come back.
Right, watch for Larry to come back and we'll start back up.
Susan, can you send me a text when you're ready to start up again?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Hey,
You're welcome.
you got time for your martini?
You have time for what?
Your martini.
Yeah, yeah, a little early for that. Okay, so we on break?
Yeah. Take a break.
Thank you.
Been waiting long?
No.
Got tied up with the previous customers. Okay, we are back and we will continue. Larry?
Good morning. I went out and we looked at the generator out at Community Corrections so that the gentleman could give us an idea of what we got there and if we can use it or whatever. So I brought in two gentlemen to answer any questions that you guys, because you guys had a bunch of questions about the generator for the courthouse and stuff like that. That way they can, instead of going in, me being a go-between. You'll have to step up.
Step up the mic and turn that mic on.
I think it's on.
Is it
On with Votel Electric.
We're going to put you on the spot.
With Evapar.
What's,
So you guys had a bunch of questions about the generator coming into the court, what we were talking about doing for the courthouse. So I brought these gentlemen in to answer.
answer our questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do we have at community corrections?
450 kW diesel gen.
And you guys say it's properly sized for that.
I would agree to that. It's backing the entire building up.
Okay.
And I think that was one of the questions that you wanted answered. Is that too big for that or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was one of Todd's questions, whether that was big enough to run a jail and
Yeah.
What would it, do you have an idea what it'd take to run a 240 bed jail? We're probably way up. I think we had to, no, we didn't have an estimate on that, did we?
The last quote that you gave me was for, can't remember. Yeah,
That was
Yeah.
for the courthouse.
the current jail.
Okay.
Todd, any questions? Oh, can't hear you.
There we are.
There you are.
Is there no way to get a generator on site on the courthouse grounds? There's just no possible spot to do it? Because once the jail's gone at the current location, if we could get that current generator to hobble by, there's no way to get a generator on grounds here? It seems like it'd save a lot of cost instead of dropping power all the way to the courthouse from that location there.
if we can find a spot, I think that's preferable. But it's the aesthetics is also an issue here.
Well, and we've talked, I took you guys out over here where the chiller is at, and that was a no. And we looked at this side over here, and there wasn't enough room over here without taking out all the sidewalk and everything that goes around the courthouse. They'd have to take that sidewalk out and make it big enough.
In the southeast?
What about,
I'm thinking about southeast corner. That seems like the least used corner of the courthouse lawn. There's quite a bit of room out there.
I don't think it has to be right next to the courthouse. I didn't know if we could put it like on the southwest corner behind the cannon and do some nice landscaping around it, or the southeast corner and put some nice landscaping around. It just doesn't make sense for me to take an expensive generator, build it over there where the jail is. Jail's gonna be gone and have to run all that power all the way to the courthouse. Plus, that also wherever we put it over there, now we gotta build around it whenever we decide what to do with that property, whether the city does something with the property or we do a parking lot or whatever we do, it's in the way, in my opinion. So I think it'd be cleaner to find a way to get it on the courthouse grounds if possible.
Yeah,
And I know you have to be a certain distance from buildings and stuff for carbon monoxide and all that stuff. So it just seems to me that we could utilize the courthouse lawn and beautify around it, do some landscaping hedge around it or something.
yeah. Let's
What
look,
would be the dimensions on,
to close that, what would be the dimensions?
230, it was a 230 or 250, I believe. I mean, you're looking at probably 4 feet wide, 8 feet long.
and how tall?
And you'll be probably 7 or 8 foot tall,
Yeah,
Sitting on the diesel tank, yeah.
depending on the.
I think the original idea was to try and get rid of the utility pole and cans on this block. And
Yes, that's
to
what
put
they-
it at the jail would have allowed us to share that pad mount transformer with the jail for this building also. So if we're coming back to putting the generator on this property, those cans will have to stay.
There's telephone poles out there at the corner on the east side of the courthouse.
east side.
Yeah, and with putting the generator down there, we could eliminate those poles and everything.
Really? That doesn't involve the city as far as,
The city is involved in it. The city is all about getting rid of them.
getting rid of them?
They're trying to move everything underground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would, all the power lines that are going across down through there, they could take those out.
I guess I'm not understanding though why those poles would have to stay if we put a generator on the courthouse grounds, why we couldn't go underground into the courthouse.
Well, it would stay the way that it is right now.
Yeah.
Your building is being served by an aerial high voltage to a
Okay.
transformer, then it goes underground into your basement. But if we put the generator here, we don't have the possibility of eliminating those transformers. To move the transfer switch and generator to the jail, we would piggyback off of that existing pad mount transformer. And that would allow you to eliminate the utility pole on this property.
So they'd be actually using all of the electricity all the time through the sheriff's department transformer instead of through our own here.
That's correct.
And they're gonna put now, I think the city came out and met with us, and they're gonna put a bigger transformer in that would service the jail and us. Is that correct?
I thought he said the one that was existing was large.
Yeah, the one there is large.
Oh,
They
large
made up-
enough?
Yeah.
Okay,
We'd have to confirm that.
yeah.
If I could speak one more time, again, my concern is that jail in the next 6 to 7 years is probably gonna be leveled. We're gonna wanna do something with that property. That generator's gonna be right in the middle, in the way of whatever we develop the property for. So it makes more sense to me to spend money on the generator we have to keep it going, nurse it along. Then when it comes end of life and the jail gets ripped down, now we got a clean slate of property and we don't have to work around that generator. Because I see that property being buildings again or possibly parking lot, I don't know. But that new generator is gonna be in the way.
No.
We're up to break and pledge. So let's take a quick break. We'll come right back. Okay?
About 10 minutes, Bill?
5
minutes?
5 minutes.
Thank you.
I don't believe so, no. Historic district. No. Right, no. If you're on the National Register of Historic Buildings, there's a
Todd back. Next. I get Todd back.
He's, that's the way he is, and that's one of the things that I really, really like about him. I mean, he's willing to help people outside the scope. I mean, he looks, yeah, yeah,
good people,
yeah,
raised right.
yeah. Where a lot of kids today would just look and just walk on by, you know what I mean?
His parents are just outstanding people.
Yeah.
Come on, Todd. Looks like they want to buy the right of way. No. And they talk about County Road 54, but they show the right of way is on 56 that they've got circled. That's true. Yeah.
I looked at their website, they're just a we buy houses for cash company.
Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
No, can't tell me. Yeah. It's, oh, Todd's back. Okay, we'll pick us back up.
Sorry about that.
Hey, where we left off. It can be done. You want to explain a little bit more on that, what that would take? And would there be a cost difference from the quote that you have on here?
This scope for me would change.
Would
completely.
change.
We would have a new generator pad. We would likely put the transfer switch out with the generator because I don't think it'll fit in your basement. Not sure how we would get it down. I think Scott's equipment would stay the same. I'm sure you'd want to update your pricing. I would have more excavation. The original plan that we were asked to quote was to go through the existing utility tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
So that was our path for conduit and wiring. We would need to excavate, put all that underground from proposed pad to the basement.
Give me those dimensions again. I did not write that down. You just say 4 foot by 15?
4 by 8.
4 by 8.
4 by
probably
8.
8 foot tall, but we're probably going to, the area would be bigger just because. of
Gotta have
putting the
access
transfer
around it.
switch
Yeah,
Out there too,
yeah,
and to know where we put it all together.
yeah.
And that's with a standard enclosure, right? That's not with
Yeah,
a sound
that's with the
enclosure.
standard enclosure, that's not being a quiet enclosure.
Mm-hmm.
Given its new location, I don't know if that's a concern for you guys. It's a diesel engine, it's gonna be loud.
How far away from the building would it have to be?
We recommend 3 to 4 foot.
Mm-hmm. So it's plenty of space out there. I mean, look at that aerial. It's hardly ever used, honestly, other than fair time probably, a little bit, cruise in. What do you think? You want to get a quote on putting it on the southeast
Well, I
corner?
think we need to look at that because, I mean, the life of the jail is going to be 10 years, even with construction time, maximum,
Very maximum,
maximum.
yeah,
So we're going to have to move it here anyway, at some point, you
yeah.
know, so,
Probably,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, give us,
if we
give us,
sell
a-
that property or develop the property, we're
Right.
not going to be able to
and
do
have
it
to,
with that.
have to keep
Yeah.
that one a little
Yeah.
postage stamp size. Excuse me. Yeah, give us a quote on what it takes to put it on that southeast corner. You provide the pad, or do we provide the pad?
It's your choice, I can do it. It's your choice, I can provide it, or you guys wanna do it yourselves.
We could have someone local do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do the pad.
Buy us some Zackrete.
Yeah.
Yeah, just quote it without the pad.
Yeah.
You, of course, would get the dimensions from you, and we got some really good concrete guys in the county that could take care of that pad. Okay?
So let me get this right. You're talking about putting it behind the cannon?
No,
No,
southeast.
Oh, southeast, okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's too close behind the cannon. I don't want to disrupt that area. People use that quite a bit.
So
So where on the southeast? I'm lost.
The southeast corner off,
Like by the sidewalk or by the building?
no, it'd be out, yeah, it'd be out. We might as well get it out away from the building,
Yeah, we can put some landscaping around.
yeah.
Yeah.
And probably it would be in an area where it would be back from the city or the sidewalk, but not too close to the building, where we could landscape around it and close it. You wouldn't know it there unless it's running, basically, if you do it. So, yeah, get us a quote on that. Okay? I think we're all set. Todd, you okay with that? Oh, you're off again.
Can't put it on the roof. No room next to your
Yeah,
office.
you're not on.
No.
Now you're
Can you hear me
frozen.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, these down here, bud. So, if we put it on the southeast corner, can we back feed to the jail then, send power from the generator from the courthouse? I'd hate to have to move this generator later to the courthouse, so if we put it on the southeast corner, could it feed the jail for now then, and take the generator off the jail? Is that what we're saying?
No,
This would just be sized for the courthouse, right?
yeah. We couldn't feed them
Just
both.
signs for the courthouse.
Yeah, we couldn't feed them both with that generator, and then they're both gonna go out. One goes out, probably the other one's gonna go out.
When the jail goes away, it all goes away.
Yeah. But just be,
Okay.
yeah, just for the courthouse.
Okay, gotcha, that makes sense,
Yeah.
okay.
If we got to, we can rent a generator for the jail if that push come to shove, you know, I suppose,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Okay, I guess that's our desire is to get a quote on how to put it on that southeast corner. We'll go from there.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Appreciate you taking time to come in.
Yes. Thanks, Larry.
Yep.
Okay, everyone. We are to the end of our
End of the list, end of our rope.
End of our rope. Sometimes I think it's the end of our rope. Yeah, no. Anything else?
No.
No,
Last
I
call.
don't think so.
Going, gone.
Yep.
Todd, thanks.
Have a safe trip back.
Guys.
See you Wednesday.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, see you, all right, you guys have a good day.
Yep.
Bye.